Hi everyone, here's a video on how to restore your car components using low-fat Greek yogurt and a blasting cabinet. Not really, but it is a review on my blasting cabinet, so stay tuned and hope you enjoy it. Following a lot of research on the internet and YouTube in particular, I decided to go ahead and buy the cheapest blasting cabinet that I could find because they were all the same, all Chinese imports. So I thought I might as well get the cheapest one because I knew straight away I was going to modify it extensively. So this is the one I bought off eBay for £189. Around the same time, I bought my compressor, which is an old British compressor, a Broomwade AC10, which is 10 cubic feet per minute. It's 125 litre tank and is good for up to 12 bar. I found a really good YouTube channel called Ray's Garage. Ray was working with a company called the Tacoma Blasting Company, and he was actually building a cabinet and showing all the mods that they were making to the cabinet and how you installed them. So I virtually just watched that to death and copied everything that they did. The main difference between the standard unit and my unit is the standard unit uses a siphon system which needs 90 psi to be able to operate, and apparently they're not very good at all. So I decided from the onset not to use that. Instead, I went for a media mixing valve, which I purchased from a place, I think in the UK, and I made my own little mini hopper to attach to the bottom of the main hopper. So I just thought I'd do a quick walk through and around my blasting cabinet. So there is the cabinet. It's the cheapest one I could find, and it's very, very heavily modified. On the top here, on the outside, those are LED light units. So we've got 8 on there, which is exactly the same number that I've got inside my kitchen. So 40 watt LEDs, 40 something, but they're very, very bright. Inside, you can see, obviously very dusty. The far end there is the air intake, and air comes across from that rectangular box across the cabinet in terms of the vacuum, and then it goes exhausts up that side and out the top. And just while we're talking about exhaust, at the back you've got there's an air regulator, so I can alter the airflow there. That's for the exhaust. And then the pipe runs around the back and it comes into here, into this. And this is a cyclone separator. And what happens, it creates a vortex in there. All the powder and dust drops to the bottom and ends up in the bucket. And that is powered by good old Henry. So this is a 2-speed one, high and low. I have it on low normally when I'm blasting, and then I'll put it onto high when I want to open a cabinet, because what it does, it creates a bigger vacuum inside the cabinet, which I'll show you in a minute. What else have we got on the top? Light switch off and on. Okay, and my static strap, because you do get quite a bit of static build up, and you get little electric shocks jumping from your shoulder to one of the screws on the side. So inside here, at the bottom there, we've got a metering valve. This is one of the things I modified. I've shown you outside. There it is, the little black hopper I made myself, and then I have a metering valve on the bottom, and what that does, that allows the media to be mixed, and the media will come up this pipe here and to the gun, and that is powered by the vacuum. So over here we've got the air coming into the floor mounted pedal switch. That's on and off, and then up here through to the gun. The vacuum in the gun causes a vacuum in this pipe, and gravity and vacuum draw the media up into the gun. And that is a little regulator on there, so you can alter the amount of mix of media and air, and that saves a huge amount of time, trouble and effort. You can actually run with that much media, so the hopper's just full, and it will run with that much media in there. When you've got a metering valve, as it came standard, you would have had to have filled pretty much this whole space, about 20 kilograms of media, and you'd have a siphon feed, which was rubbish, to be honest. I never, from the research I did, I never ever used it. I just built it like this from the onset because I knew people had so much trouble with it. So the gun, it's the standard gun that came with it. I've got a cable tie around here to hold the trigger on because I've got a floor mounted switch. And all I've done, I've changed the fittings to high flow, so I've got the most amount of air flowing through this standard gun. And you know what, it's not bad at all, to be honest. You've got different size tips on it. That one's an 8mm tip. It seems like the bigger the tip, the better it works. So I am thinking about changing the gun for one. It's a slightly smaller gun than this. It's supposed to be better, but I'm just out of curiosity more than anything, because this is perfectly adequate and is doing a reasonable job. So I don't know how long it will last, what the quality is like, but it's doing a good job at the moment. Yeah, right, okay. These strips at the side, I've added those because you can see there was a ledge all around there with the main hopper, and media used to sit on that ledge, and that was a pain. So I made these additional sloping sides and fitted those all around the cabinet as well. This, I made this a bit smaller. I've just put some welds on the side there, there's a few blobs of weld just to keep it standing away, because I've still got media still sits on here, which is a bit of a pain. So I'm thinking about making a different one of these, using a round section here so that media won't sit on the flat, it'll just sit on the round, it'll just fall off all the time. So anything to make it a little bit more efficient. I just spotted this as well. This is a flat flange and with a door, but it doesn't need to be flat, so I think I might just going to bend that in so that it slopes so media doesn't sit on there, because I do find that when you open the door, media will sit on there and it will fall out onto the floor. So bit of a pain that. Right, I'll just show you it running. So this is the media. This is the latest one I bought. This is get into focus, there you go. That's crushed glass, and that's the coarse crushed glass. Works very well. So I think in here I've got some fine crushed glass, a little bit of medium crushed glass as well, and in that one at the back there I've got some bead, glass bead, which is used for polishing aluminium. I will be experimenting with slightly bigger glass bead at some point in time, because I think it will give you a much better surface finish, a shinier surface finish. If you think about peening, the larger the ball when you're peening, the brighter the surface. So the same applies to blasting with beading. Anyway, I'll just put some more grit in the cabinet. So this is the job I'm doing at the moment. Coil springs off an Alfa Romeo a GTV, I think it is, a 3.2 litre V6. that a mate's got. The one on the left is obviously the one I'm blasting for powder coating, and one on the right needs to be done. These are horrible things to do, because you have to get down there, and you can see little bits of, this is actually powder coated, original factory powder coating, but very, very thin, and it is coming off with a bit of time and effort. But you just, you can't get the gun in that well all around, but you do just take quite a long time to get these clean. But what I'll do is I'll keep pushing on and until they're clean. So that's the one I'm going to finish off. I'll just take this one. You can see the state of that. So I'll just take that one out. So what I've done is run the media right down. I'm going to put a little bit more media in. Got coarse glass grit, and it's nice and clean. And what happens is you put the grit in and it breaks down, with obviously impacting the surface of the metal. It breaks down as it's recycled through the system, and it breaks down into a consistency which is akin to talcum powder, and that all ends up in this bucket here. So every now and then I empty that. The beauty of this system is the Hoover bag doesn't get any powder in it at all. The cyclone separates it all out, so you just unplug the Hoover, use it as a shop vac, and use it up here to power the cyclone. It works really, really well. Keeps all the dust inside, creates a nice bit of negative pressure. So this is a low-fat Greek yogurt pot, a kilogram. There you go, kilogram, and that's about half full. So I'm just going to put half a kilo in. And that's it. We'll be good to go now. So what else have we got in here? We've got a wooden block. I use that for just resting stuff on. Just helps you to rest up a little bit, because it is quite tiring while you're doing it. And it just helps. A couple of brushes. That's for cleaning off the part, getting most of the media off before I take it out of the cabinet. And this long brush is for reaching all the hard to reach places inside the cabinet, for when you get the dust away from the door before you open it. So that's it. So media in, everything's in. Right, let's give it a go. So just difficult one-handed, but that's the latch. I just bent that little flange down in there, so I'll see how that goes. Right, let's switch this on. So we are on this on low. So that sucks everything in to start with. Right, let's see if we can see that. What I'll do, I'll just show switch this off and on, and you can see. See if I can show you the so that much negative pressure on there. That door isn't just coming open. See if I can hold the camera steady. You should see it move. There. You look at the. I'll probably have to put it on a tripod for you to be able to see that. Right. So that's it. Let's get blasting. Anyway, I'll just carry on with this, and that's it. That's my blasting cabinet. Here you can see the finished spring. There's some areas of rather deep pitting, which you can see if you look closely. These will be mostly filled by the powder coat. They use a two-stage powder. The first being a zinc primer, which bonds better to the substrate, and then finish it off with a final colour.